Well, obviously, you can't put the entire book in the movie. You have to make edits and concentrate on certain things. I think what I'm was really interested in the script and in the development of the film was Ralph Fiennes' inner journey, his journey from doubt and wondering if he's in the right place, if he's the right person to run this conclave, and then arriving at a sense of liberation, I guess, from this doubt, going through a whole journey of doubt. And that was something I very much related to from the book and from the script, and that because I feel it in filmmaking. You probably feel it. Everyone feels it. Our audiences feel it. Everyone can relate to that because it's a very human emotion and a very human feeling to have doubt about your purpose. We were really concentrating on that journey, and that was something that Rafe responded to very much too, because I think he feels it too.
The Pope is dead. The throne is vacant.
Of course, you start with Rafe, who's our Cardinal Lawrence, who will be the main guy that we can center everything around. And we needed someone for that role where we can look into his eyes and sort of be taken on a journey by the actor. Because it's a very silent role. He's actually observing a lot, and all the others are speaking. He's reacting a lot. And so you need someone who doesn't express it verbally necessarily, but who expresses it with their eyes, and who lets us, in a way, without sounding idiotic, into their soul. And that's what Rafe does. He has, like, when I look into his eyes, when he acts, you can really see what he's thinking and feeling. And he just takes us by the hand and takes us into this journey of doubt.
Well, Cardinal Lawrence, it seems the responsibility for the conclave falls upon you.
And that was something that I concentrated on with Rafe. And then it was very much about assembling an ensemble that has all the colors in there. A cardinal from Mexico, a cardinal from Italy, a cardinal from Canada and from Ireland, and all, like, it's such an international community, the Catholic Church. It's all over the world, 1.6 billion people follow it. So you have the advantage of drawing from people from all around the world. And then maybe as a different color, there is a person, Isabella Rossellini, who is the only woman in the film, kind of the only woman except for extras. And she doesn't have many lines either, so I needed another person who is very charismatic just by looking at her. And who else comes to mind but Isabella, So she has such a strong presence that felt important to get that role right. Yeah, I mean, that process is mysterious because we can't really see behind those doors. And so there was a big interest from my side to explore that mystery and to find out more about that mystery and to bring the audience into that room. We have to understand, it's the most powerful person in the world that gets elected in this by essentially 100 people, that sort of vote, and they need a 2/3 majority to elect the Pope. And so there's a lot of maneuvering behind it. And to find out how that maneuvering and those political alliances, how they work, that was very interesting. But in terms of the details of what the Catholicism does, we had a great religion teacher who was there every day. He's basically a high school teacher, and he came every day after school and was with us on the set and showed us how to hold the hands and how to pray and how to hold the Bible and how to do the oath and how to vote and all these little details. But essentially, he doesn't know either, because he's not allowed in the room, and whoever is allowed in the room won't tell you. So there's a certain level of authenticity where you put like cornerstones in it, and the rest is freedom of interpretation. And to me, that's always the most interesting part, because movies are never real. We filmed it in Rome, and most of it is on location, but obviously outside the Vatican. The Vatican, you can't shoot there. And so we just manufactured our own Vatican and said, this is how it looks like, and this is but we built the Sistine Chapel in Cinecittà. Cinecittà is this wonderful studio where Fellini and everyone worked, and you feel the history of movie making in those walls. It's just gorgeous. And so you we went there and built the Sistine Chapel. Isabella knows everyone in Cinecittà. Basically, she grew up there. You know, she watched Fellini make movies. She watched her father make movies. Her father shot more on location, but she's obviously a movie icon, film royalty, and to be there with her, and she knows all the technicians and crew members, and that's a wonderful experience to have that with her in Rome. She's the daughter of Rome. First of all, the political machinations behind closed doors. I saw a picture of the election of either Pope Benedict or Pope Francis, I forget. And there were a bunch of cardinals in the courtyard sort of talking and whispering. And I felt like this is ancient Rome. This is the Senate of Rome with Brutus and everyone trying to conspire how to get rid of Caesar. And that's what it's, you know, it's this old political machinations that have survived thousands of years. And that is, the movie is not about the church. Yeah, it's about, first of all, the inner, but it's about these power games of trying to hold on to power, of succumbing to ambition. And that happens everywhere. That a couple of months ago, there was Nancy Pelosi sort of putting Kamala Harris into the position that she's in now and making sure that Joe Biden knows how to step aside gracefully. And, you know, that was great political maneuvering. That could have been a conclave, you know, that could have been, we don't know what it looks like behind those doors, and very few people do. Same with Sam Altman at OpenAI, suddenly he was out the door, or, you know, Bob Iger at Disney left, and then he felt like, oh, I got to come back to save this. You know, it happens all the time, like what goes on with big positions, and there are not many in the world, you know, what are there, 30, 40 big positions in the world? And if you're that close to that position, I think you get ruthless. But I also was interested really in making these cardinals like you and I. I mean, they're smoking, they have their phones, they have a vape, the Pope ends up in a plastic body bag. You know, and that's because he's just a person, you know. He'll be dead just like you and I, and we'll all be in a plastic bag at some point, you know. So, and that's sort of human, and so I was interested in humanizing them and not making them normal, you know, with all their flaws and sins and pasts and hopes. Whenever I make a film, you feel like, oh, I've just done that. I don't want to do it again. You know, you grow over it. You learn something, and then you say, I've done it. Can I explore something else? At least in my mind and my heart, that's that way. That I flock to the opposite. The next movie I'm going to do is probably be the opposite again. You just go back and forth, trying to find a way of, you know, expressing what you feel is important to talk about.